Welcome back to the channel, folks. So in this episode we're going to get some more paint on the Escort. A little welding repair in a corner over there, which is an unexpected bonus. So love these little unexpected welding repairs that you come across and you don't think you've got to do anymore. But so look forward to that. And there's not an awful lot in this episode, if I'm brutally honest. It is just cleaning off the rest of the paint, getting this side painted and the roof painted. I've taken on board your comments about the dentist drill, so I've not included the footage of the grinding the paint off. I've just got the footage of me putting the paint on and a couple of areas where scratching and scraping. So hope you enjoy it, and see you at the end. So noise in the background is my diesel heater. So got that pointed towards the bonnet and the front of the car, and got my fire on in the background there, my little gas bottle burner, fire log Dewberry Dodd waste wood burner, and that's properly toasty in here. In fact, it's pretty cold outside. I'm down to my t-shirt, so happy days. And this, folks, is why you sand your next layer before you paint, or you paint it while it's still ready for the chemical adhesion. You don't leave it and then just paint over it. Look at that. Well, I'm not complaining, because it's making this job a little bit easier than I expected it to be. Because over here I started sanding with a black sander, connect up with the vacuum cleaner, trying to keep the dust down in there a bit, but this is going to be a lot easier. There we are. Because I'm considerate of your sensitive ears, I have spared you the noise of the dentist drill. So there's the boot all cleaned back to bare metal and DA'd up, or orbital sanded up, and the sides being cleaned of metal, cleaned back to metal, and just need to go over it with the orbital sander. But I've had enough for one evening, so I'm going in. Alrighto, it's a new day, so let's get cracking on this. So time to panel wipe all this down. I've got my little diesel heater going and got my fire just lit there, ready to go. That's all going nicely in there. So let's get cracking. So hopefully by the time I get this panel wiped down and got it clean and the paint mixed up, I've warmed up in here enough to start playing with the paint. The only problem with these diesel heaters, they work well, to be fair. There's a good heat comes off them, and even though it's only a little heater, this left on its own for a couple of hours will take the chill off my reasonable sized garage. But they are noisy, so let's see how we get on with that. I might knock that off shortly once the log burner takes over. Lovely, that's nicely established now, so plenty of heat coming off of that. Right, I need to have a tidy up and we can crack on. Right, so that's the first general dust down. I've got a new packet of fibre cloths, microfiber cloths, and now we will give it a wiping down. I really should put gloves on so oils my fingers don't go on it. And it's already quite warm in here, which is nice. It's not that cold today as it happens, a bit damp outside, but it's warmed up to about 11 degrees outside, so it's should be able to get it up to about 15-16 degrees in here, I'd imagine, fairly quickly. Sleeves are already rolled up.
you'll be okay today.
Righto, that's all wiped down nicely. Only took a couple of wipes that time because previously on the other side I was wiping it down straight away without dry wiping it first. So I've learned to give it a dry wipe over first and then over with the panel wipe. It saves a lot of time and effort and a fair bit of panel wipe. So mix up some paint and get the next bit on. There we go, another side painted. Been doing my best Darth Vader impressions with my mask again. That seemed to amuse a few. The last one called me Darth Dave or Dave Vader. Made me chuckle as well. So all down the one side now is black epoxy primed and across the boot. And it is pretty much just thrown on, if I'm honest. I'm not too precious about getting it perfect. I had to change the rollers about halfway through as the it was starting to swell up and go a bit minging, so we may have to look into getting better quality rollers for this. But all we really need to do next is the roof panel, which I'm not looking forward to. That corner there probably could have done, but the front scuttle doesn't need a lot of body working, so I'm not worrying too much about that. All I really want to worry about with this black epoxy is the heavy bodywork areas. And since every single panel on this car needs something, it's all getting it. Lovely. Yep, it's doing that again. So put the diesel heater back on. Got the fire stoked up, and I'm just going to close the door now and go in and have a cup of coffee and wait and see what happens. Just when you thought the welding was done, found a hole there and something weird going on there. So I'm going to fire up the welder, fill those in, and then come back to you. Oh, ended up going all the way along there. It was quite thin. See, there's some lead nonsense going on here, which has melted away as I've been welding. but hopefully I've got that. So I'm going to get a grinder on that now and take that back to a nice edge, hopefully. That's that welded in back into a nice edge there, so stop any water leaking into that. Found another existing previous repair there which was full of filler. So any temptation I had to not strip the roof back, it's all gone. Look at this. So I shall keep scraping until that's all gone. Right, that's after about an hour's worth of scraping. Go back to that. So this I did with the wire wheel. I got about as far as there, then started scraping with a chisel, which is about there. Hang on, get the better. Started scraping with the chisel to there, and then with the blade across the rest of it. So there's a couple of areas. There's a little low spot just about there, and both there and there is a couple of little low spots as well, but nothing overly significant. A little bit of filler will soon sort that out. So overall the roof is in pretty good shape. Right, after an absolute epic of the wire wheel attachment, we are ready to give this some paint, and well, a wipe down of some paint. I've not gone over it with a DA because the noise is just horrendous, so I've gone over it with 80 grit paper just to give the whole lot. You can see a scratch in the surface. That'd be good enough to give a good key for the paint to go into, but I can't cope with the sound of the DA any longer. Okay, with a little bit of patience, as you can see, you can get a reasonable finish with the roller. So you can see it's starting to set off now in the foreground here, so that's good news. So that's all blackened off, ready for painting in the future. There's a little bit of bodywork to be done on it. There's a couple of little dinks and dents, a little dink there. There was filler here. You can see now that it's shiny black, you can see there's a little dent just about there, and there's a little hollow just about here. There's a little dink in the roof here somewhere, and on this side there's a couple of dinks and donks. We just see, yeah, you can see a dent there, just there, and some little ripples and bits but nothing serious, no rot in it, so that's good news. So happy days. Right, we got the heaters on, as you can hear. That's going, got the fire going, blazing in the background here, burning away. You'll see I've got a little oil feed drip thing going on as well. So that tank there, I put old engine oil in and I run it through a valve and a little thing there, so I can drip feed that into there, so that burns oil away and keeps the fire going a bit longer. And it's warming up in here nicely, and you can see the roof is setting off nicely. I had forgotten to do a little patch on there, so I've touched that in as well while I was at it. Right, there we go, another job done. So hopefully now we are ready for getting the what our cousins across the pond call Bondo, what we call body filler, on the car, and so that we're ready for that, hopefully. No nasty surprises. I haven't done door gapping on the passenger door yet, but it's not too bad as it happens, so consider that when we get to it. So it might involve a bit of cutting or welding and messing about again with that, but I've had a look at it, especially now that it's in black. It looks amazing, but once it's got a bit of paler colour on it, I might decide to do it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Funny story about the chair. So remember I did a little review video on the chair. And the company that sent it to me sent me a message saying, "Oh, you haven't done a video yet. What's going on?" They got me confused with Dave's Garage in the States. So hello, Dave's Garage in the States. They have over 800,000 subscribers. So I think once the chair company realised that they'd made that mistake, they must have been quite upset with themselves. So our relatively small, modest subscriber count compared to 800,000 is not quite the same, but they were okay about it, and I get to keep a chair, so happy days. And that's where I'm going now, back into the house to do the editing for this video. So thanks for watching. If you are a watcher and not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Please do like and share and all that, and it'll bang us up the old algorithm and get our subscriber count up. We're nearly at 10,000, so that's good news. So we're growing all the time. Thank you very much. I am humbled you guys like to watch me watching about in the garage.